The town of Blackwood was a quiet place where everyone knew everyone and nothing ever happened. But that all changed one cold October night when the Johnson family vanished without a trace. It started with a phone call. A concerned neighbor had noticed the lights at the Johnson house had been off for days. No one had seen Sarah Johnson or her husband, Michael, or their two young daughters, Emily and Lily. The police arrived to find the front door slightly ajar, the house eerily silent. Inside, the scene was chilling. The furniture was overturned, dishes shattered on the floor, and the family's dog lay lifeless in the corner. But there was no sign of the Johnsons. The officers searched every room, their flashlights cutting through the darkness, until they reached the basement. The door was locked from the inside. When they forced it open, the smell hit them first, damp, musty, and something metallic. Blood. The walls were covered in strange symbols, painted in what looked like rust. In the center of the room, a single chair sat facing the wall, and on it was a note written in shaky handwriting. "They're still here." The investigation led the police to a man named Daniel Carter, a recluse who lived on the outskirts of town. Daniel had been seen arguing with Michael Johnson weeks before the disappearance. When questioned, Daniel denied any involvement, but his eyes darted nervously and his hands trembled as he spoke. The police searched Daniel's property and found a shed filled with disturbing items. Photos of the Johnson family, maps of their neighborhood, and journals filled with ramblings about cleansing the town of its sins. But the most chilling discovery was a recording. Daniel's voice echoed through the speakers, cold and detached, as he described his plan to bring the family to justice. As the pieces came together, the police realized Daniel had been stalking the Johnsons for months. He believed they were responsible for a tragedy that had happened years ago, a fire that killed his wife and child. In his twisted mind, the Johnsons had to pay. But the question remained, where were the bodies? The police scoured the woods, the river, and even the old mines outside of town, but found nothing. Then, one night, a patrol officer driving past the Johnson house noticed a light flickering in the basement window. He called for backup and entered the house, his heart pounding. The basement door was open. The symbols on the walls seemed to glow in the dim light, and the air was thick with the scent of decay. In the corner, the chair was turned to face the room now, and on it sat a single doll, a perfect likeness of Emily Johnson. The officer's radio crackled to life, and a voice whispered, "They're still here." The case was never solved. The Johnson family was declared dead, and Daniel Carter was arrested, though he never confessed. The house on Hollow Lane was boarded up, but the townsfolk swore they could hear whispers coming from the basement at night. Some even claimed to see shadows moving behind the windows, as if the family was still there, waiting for someone to find them. To this day, no one knows what really happened to the Johnsons. But one thing is certain. The house on Hollow Lane is no longer just a house. It's a tomb, a monument to a family that vanished into the darkness, and a reminder that some secrets are better left buried.